All right, this is Brent Marvick with BP Kitchen Equipment, and we have here a Bizerba GSP HD. It's actually HDW. The HDW stands for weighing platter. That is this. So although it doesn't actually say W, it is in fact one because this has a built-in portion scale into it. This slicer works exactly the same as a regular automatic, but the portion scale and the user interface just allow for extra functionality of the slicer. I'll be going into a little bit of that today. However, at some point, we're just going to be putting together a YouTube video of a model comparison, so stay tuned for that. But for the time being, the slicer is in pretty good shape overall. See, there's little to no scratches on the gauge plate itself. Same thing on the carriage, it's really clean. This slicer does come with a sharpener. This is a used sharpener, but it does have brand new stones. This weighing platter is also in pretty good shape. It does have some nicks, really not that big of a deal. The screen is working great. It's got a little bit of a neck right here. But overall, it's in pretty good shape, especially for being 3 years old. That's what the gauge plate looks like right here. Now, I'll just walk through the differences between this and a regular automatic here shortly. So, let's see. For right now, let's just run it in manual mode. Alright, so this is what she looks like in manual. So the blade is currently running, and although it says manual, this is technically an assisted manual. So you can tell that by this. So it'll push itself back, it'll return itself, a little jolt, there we go. However, you can just, operate it as such. Just a little bit easier to use, less likely to throw your shoulder out. So yeah, manual mode's pretty self-explanatory, but let's go into automatic. So currently we have it set on slices. Let's increase the stroke length and let's see what that looks like. So this is set on a fast stroke, but a small stroke length. Let's change that to a large stroke length. And let's slow down the speed a bit, because Lazy Susan definitely does not like the slicer moving fast. So as I said, it works just like a regular automatic. The only differences here is really just this button and then these. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to either slice a set amount of slices. So say you want to do 30 pieces of provolone. It's currently at 23, it's going to tell you. So this should slice, reset. Every time the blade stroke length goes, it counts down. Once it reaches 30, it will automatically stop. You can also reset this. So let's say that I didn't want this to be 10, but I wanted it to be 5. I'll click enter. Click 5, and let's say I wanted it exactly this thick, and there we go. So it'll do 5 of these strokes, then it'll automatically quit and be ready for you. There we go. So that's how the strokes work. However, this is the really interesting part of this. Let's do weight. So let's say that you're a sandwich shop and you want to do you don't want to skimp out on a ½ ounce, you want to do 1 ounce of sliced meat on it. And you want it to be pretty thin, so let's put it at 0.5. So you can put your sandwich on top, you can tear your weight, then you can say, all right, cool, let's cut 1 ounce. Then, as soon as you put a little bit of weight on there, it'll automatically stop. Something else you can do. See this infinite? That actually doesn't mean that it's just gonna infinitely cut. What it'll do is it'll keep cutting until no more weight is added to the platter. So let's see what that looks like. So we're cutting here, cut a piece of meat, cut another piece of meat, and let's just do one more. Now, after a certain amount of time, it'll actually automatically stop because it's no longer cutting and adding weight to the platter, see? These slicers really are very, very in-depth. There's a lot that you can do with them. I'm not even going into you know, you can also change these values, so it doesn't have to be 1 ounce. It can be 5 ounces, for example. But I'm not even going into any of this. We got a blade speed setting. You can change the blade speeds. We have access to the operator menu as well as the service menu. There's quite a bit there that you can do. You can set this to automatically clean at certain times, or to automatically remind you. It'll be right here. And that way you or your employees can be automatically reminded after 8 hours of work or on Mondays or whatever it is. The slicer will tell you, hey, I need to be cleaned, or hey, I need to be sharpened. Yeah, they're really in depth. I look forward to doing a video to explain a little bit more. A little bit about our refurbishment process. Here at BP, we don't just sell used equipment. Every piece of equipment that we get has been serviced. We know how to operate it, we know how to work it, and then we sell it to you, having an understanding if you need support, and we have a 120-day warranty on our products. We don't sell used equipment whatsoever. We make sure that every piece of equipment is as high quality as we can. It is in fact used, but for these Bizerbas specifically, I work on all the Bizerbas. I make sure that these are lubricated, that the electrical components work, that the mechanical components work as it would from the factory. We don't want to just sell used equipment and tell you to go take a hike whenever you have problems. We actually want to help you. Yeah, everything is lubricated with either H1 food safe oil or grease. This shaft, for example, as well as the shaft that this carriage actually slides back and forth on, that is lubricated with OEM Bizerba oil. This meat grip right here, the dial, a rail that this sits on, and also the blade, actually, they're all lubricated with H1 food safe grease. Yeah, we go through all these slicers. Any slicer takes me anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. These ones take me a little bit longer because I actually have to update them. That's something else I forgot to mention. We also update the firmware before we ship these out. So HMI stands for the user interface here. MC stands for motor control board. Both of those are updated with this software bundle. We also calibrate the scale before it gets shipped out. Let's go back over here. So say that this is, says that this is 10.35 ounces. That's actually 10.35 ounces. Yeah, let me think about anything else. Oh, we also sharpen the blade before we ship it out. So I'll give you an example here. Every single slicer, doesn't matter if it's this or another one, we make sure that all of our slicers are sharp as hell whenever you get them. So let's put it in manual mode. Yeah, we make sure that every slicer can easily cut. It's kind of a bad cut due to my handling. There we go. We make sure that every slicer can easily cut a piece of sheet of paper. It's just a precaution that we do on our end. I've been told that a dull blade is a dangerous one. I just want to make sure that this arrives to you in good, well-running condition. Something else that we do, speaking of the blade, so there is, from the factory, a 1 millimeter gap between this blade and this blade guard ring. Bizerba recommends that you replace it when that gap becomes 6 millimeters. What we do is we make sure that every single blade on every single slicer has at least 66% of that remaining 5 millimeters. I think the number that we look for is 2.67 or something like that. Yeah, but we just, we make sure that you're not going to get a slicer that needs a blade replaced, that needs this lubricated, that needs this oiled, that doesn't cut potentially. We make sure that this dial is accurate. So it says 1, this is going to cut at 1 millimeters. It's at 0.5, it's going to cut at 0.5. There's a bit of a tolerance there, but it's pretty damn close. Something else we do is we calibrate the safety mechanisms. So let me show you here. So green, with these ones with the illuminated dial, I make sure that green means that it is good, it is safe. The moment you hit the blade, it starts flashing red. I can tell you that this is still safe because I calibrate this gauge plate. I make sure that this gauge plate sits around 1.5 millimeters above the blade. That's just to make sure that whenever you do expose the blade like this, say you got to do some cleaning, you take off the blade cover, nobody's gonna get cut. Neither you or potentially your employees can be able to fit your fingers in there. When you do this, you're not gonna, slice them off. Yeah, we just, we want to make sure that everything's safe. Let's see what else. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions about this model specifically, please just call me. I can explain more on the phone. As I said, we'll be doing that video hopefully by around this winter time. So hopefully going into 2024, we'll have a good video for you. But in the meantime, just give me a call if you have any questions. Again, this is Brent Marvick, VP Kitchen Equipment. My number is 425-361-3695. And yeah, hope you have a good day.